Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond, broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
Back at you, Gloves Off, and today I have a great guest, a dear friend of mine who threw his name in the hat for Laredo City Council District 3, correct?
That's right, District 3 here for the city of Laredo.
How you doing, Eric?
Doing good.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
It's been a long time. You know, we've known each other for a very long time since we were kids.
High school, college days.
Yeah. And you know, there's a lot of stuff going on here in Laredo, and this is Eric Wickstrom, folks. I didn't introduce him properly, but he's a dear friend. Why would you throw your name in the hat? What's going on? What's going on for you to say, you know what, I'm going to run?
Well, of course, I live in District 3. The zones and the district has gotten reshaped and figured. And back then I was in District 2, and now since they did the change, it put me into District 3. I saw that the position was open, and I said, let me give it a try. And the way I see it, you know, me being in the Heights, water line breaks are on a weekly basis. No joke. Maybe 3 a week, you know. And of course, you know, one of the subjects here at Laredo is water quality and the water distribution. You know, some of those pipes that have been there, you know, at least 50, 60 years. Sure. They've been patched and patched and patched, and it's very seldom that they replace it. It always just so happens is after they resurface the street or something, they'll get a break. And of course, all the time after it rains, we get some good rains. Of course, the contraction, expansion of the ground and everything. Of course, the earth is going to move. It breaks those old joints. It breaks those old repairs, you know. And of course, sure, things are going to happen. Perhaps they're going to break. But, you know, considering you had a report of the past repairs they had in the last year, even 5 years, you know, it's been repaired, you know, many times. And I wouldn't say it'd be cheaper in the long run to replace that pipe, but it would be less expensive in the long run to fix it, get it done and out of the way. Of course, you have water leaks and, you know, water gets sucked back in. And of course, they purge the lines, and again, then we have a water boil. We find dirt in your water, sand, Teflon, pieces of plastic. You know, it's just part of one of the subjects of water quality and water distribution. And also another thing brought to my attention was, of course, yes, we rely on the Rio Grande for water. Okay, that's great. You know, we have state-of-the-art water facilities to clean and make that water better. Of course, to remove all the pollutants and what have you that we have in the water. Good, fine. You know, but you never know. People think it'll never dry out, that river. It's dried out before. It's dried out in the 20s. It's dried out in the 30s, or maybe even like late 30s, early 40s. And again, we've had an extreme amount in the 50s where it flooded really bad, like it did also in 2010 or 2012. I believe it was 2010. It was June when it flooded River Drive water.
When it flooded everything over there.
Yeah, flooded everything. I mean, it's been worse prior, you know.
Sure.
But you just never know. And also another subject, and I've heard it in the past, you know, getting a secondary water source. People are for it, people are against it. You know, but, you know, it'd be good to get a second water source.
Sure.
At least start on it, you know.
I mean, you made some great points, especially with the water. You know, one thing that the city needs to understand is the city's there for the citizens and the citizens' well-being. And water that's polluted, water that you can't drink, water that you have to boil over and over and over. How many boil bans in the last 3 years that we had? It's throughout the whole city. You can't drink the water now. It just comes up in Facebook. Facebook gives it to you faster than what the news does. And it's sad that we have, I don't know if it's incompetence or complacency, in the sense of they just don't care about what they're doing. You know, I see a lot of wrongs with our city. I see our city is also a very beautiful city. It has a great culture. We all came back for that. You know, we all left in college and we all started businesses elsewhere, and I moved back. And we love Laredo as per that, but Laredo hasn't changed. It kind of has that subculture inside the city, inside the politics within the city that you know, they award people that do wrong, that make errors all the time, and they make them directors and assistant directors and so on and so forth, instead of literally cutting them out and bringing in new people to run it. And, you know, it's a corporation. You're right. The pipes have been old for a long time. I think some of them were placed in the 50s and 60s in the area. So
especially in the Heights.
And especially in the Heights and those areas. And then when they made the other plant, they're about 50 years old. They're over 50 in some areas, 50, and in some areas over 50. And the new areas that we've had, it's just we're growing so much that we have new pipes, but it's differences. You know, the new with the old meeting together. Sometimes it just the patch jobs don't work. We need to spend money on that instead of wasting money on how can I say, on idiotic thinking. You know, some
like the Binational Park.
Well, exactly, just like the Binational Park. I mean, you know, they come up and they said first that the federal government's going to pay for it, and half of it Mexico. Now they want us to front 200 million. No, it's 500 million. No, it's 1 billion. No, it's going to be this. They have no idea what's going on. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do the security, because now they're talking about walkways and crossways that you can go hunky-dory over to the other side and Mexicans can come back over here. There's a breach there that's not going on. I don't know if...
Yeah, in the perfect world, it would work. Now, we didn't have the troubles that are happening in Nuevo Laredo, talking about gunfire, kidnapping, rape. Sure, if there was no violence, I'd say, you know, it's a pretty good idea. I'd say start it, and start adding little by little as years go by.
Make it grow. Make it in phases. Make just one.
Yeah, make it in phases.
But don't make it the whole big. You know, people are going to be against it. Why? Because to me, it's just another grift. Just another thing to lay somebody's wallet.
It's like our arena.
Yep. Just another one. You know, and you made a good comment earlier today when we were talking. Nobody goes to our parks. Our parks are empty. So now they're going to spend, what, it's 1,000 acres, 6-point-something miles, and what, they're going to go there across. It's just, it's all, how can I say, we all have dreams. You know, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. Well, that was not going to happen.
Sure.
But, you know, I also wanted to be world champion. I became third in the world. I didn't fight any further because, you know, I blew my hand. I couldn't fight anymore. I lost my hand. I lost my tendons in my left hand. 11 surgeries. So those dreams, they can be accomplished because they're reality dreams. You know what I'm saying?
You got to start somewhere.
But something like having this when you have a peaceful nation with a nation that is actually at war with each other, because there's a drug war that's going on over there and nobody wants to admit it, and we're going to come in from there to, it's just accidents waiting to happen.
Yeah, true. True, it is very, very true. I can understand we're border with Canada. They're very peaceful. I don't think they ever get mad, Canadians. You know?
Yeah, you know, no, right.
It's really nice. It's really good. But we're basically on a border with Bosnia. Come on, man. It's serious.
But you know that it's something there that they're pushing it so hard. They're bringing it so hard. People do not understand it. If you see all the comments coming, everybody's against it.
Yeah, they are.
Everybody's against it. Well, nonetheless, dreams are fine, and I like what they do, and that they want to protect the river. There's nothing wrong with that. Please do it. Continue doing that. You know, protect the butterflies. They want to do, but also protect the other species that are there.
Well, protect your people first.
First of all, Laredo.
Community. Yes.
Yeah. First of all, our security. Well, we need a safe border. We don't have a safe border.
True. True. I've been down there like the Mission. People are boating, they're jet skiing down the river. You wouldn't even imagine it was Mexico right on the other side. It looks like you're somewhere like in the hill country in a river. For some reason, it looks a lot cleaner too.
Yeah. Here, I don't know what's going on here, but It's by the time they change the mentality that's in Laredo, it's going to be another 50 years down the road. It's like, look what happened yesterday. You know, we had to airlift our embassy workers in Baghdad out of Iraq, okay? Because now they're going back to war, okay? Same thing that's going on there. What's going to happen? They're just going to cross over anytime they want. They're doing that right now. We're going to facilitate it. The security is my main point. You know, I have daughters, I have kids, you have kids. We want their safety. That's number one. But putting that aside, what else do you see that needs fixing in the city that you would say, you know what, this is where I can come in?
Well, I'd say where the fixing would be so much of the fixing. It'd be like the limit of spending. And I'm pretty sure you've seen that great idea of a bicycle trail on Santa Maria down an industrial truck route.
That's a beautiful idea.
I know, it's great. And I could understand, all right, you want to do that? I'd say like towards the east side of Santa Maria where the truck stop is and where the Coles and the theater was at and so forth. There's plenty of space for a sidewalk. They could have done that. All right, good. We keep people off of the street, you know, for what I said. Main concern is the people's safety. But they put some kind of like a curb or median in there, which could be run over very easy. A car could go over it very easy. I can imagine what it costs. That's one. Two, you know, all the materials they used, right, to do that. Okay, it doesn't work out. Okay, they spent the money to make it. You know very well it's a bad idea. And now it's going to take labor, equipment. More likely the city's going to want to contract it out to remove it and get it repaired again. Already have an idea? The way I saw it, you could buy those concrete barriers. They're 10, 15 foot long. Get them used anywhere. I'm pretty sure the city even has them already. Put them up. They're about $100 each, right? Put that up. It costs about $140, $150 a yard of concrete, which doesn't cover very much. Now you compare it to that barrier, which could be lifted, placed, let it work. At least you protect the people. At least protect the people. If it doesn't work, take them out, use them somewhere else. You know.
Absolutely.
But I wouldn't know why. Why in the world they would think it'd be a good idea to have a bike route on Santa Maria? Why don't they just put a bike lane on 35?
It's the same thing. Well, with the way we're going with these beautiful ideas, you might end up with a bike lane on 35. I mean, you know, it's.
They'll have those yellow cones. I'm pretty sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's. I mean, some of these people that are there. Listen, folks. We love you, but let's get back to reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's sad to see the city acting this way. You know, you have the 3C, the ABC of destruction. Okay, A for arrogance, B for bureaucracy, and C for complacency. And that's exactly what you have here.
Yeah.
We have people that go into city council that are very arrogant. Once you go, yeah, exactly right. Once you go inside, they want to dictate to everybody else. They become arrogant. That arrogance is going to hurt you. Exactly. They have a little bit more money they didn't have before. They're cocky. They're in their blind spots. It's us, so it's us and you, and whatever we do, it's kind of like we're peons. And number one, we're not subjects to anybody. Second, bureaucracy. You want to open a small business? Call the building inspector to come over and give you a temporary light permit. It's going to take you a month, maybe a month and a half to get it out there. There's a lot of complaints. You're already paying rent. You're already going under. You finish construction. It's going to take them another 2-3 weeks for the guy to go out there. And you've been there. You've seen it. You understand that.
Yes.
And you know, that's bureaucracy. Instead of making the steps go from point A to point D take 2 weeks, it now takes 2 months. We're supposed to be getting better. Instead of being 2 weeks, it should take 7 days, a week. That's where we should be going. We should start
quicker.
Yeah,
the quicker the better. You get that business producing. At least it's getting sales tax, and it's coming. And you know, money's coming in, and you know, of course, gets paid to the state, and the state awards it to the city.
Absolutely. And then the last one's complacency. I mean, you've got people here that are working there that don't worry about somebody else with it. So now we get into the problems that we have. They probably knew about the water pipes 15, 20 years ago. But what happened? Nobody spend the money over there. You know what? So-and-so over there wants sprinklers on the street corner. Or some stupid idea that comes of age, which is, you're seeing them now. Now, and I bet you anything, there's 20 years ago, 15 years ago, they were supposed to fix some pipes or do waters and so on and so forth, and they just push it down.
The last time I saw any kind of improvement was back in the 90s, early 90s. It was with Mayor Saul Ramirez.
Sure.
He must have paved I don't know how many miles of streets here in Laredo.
Absolutely.
Which was
unheard of.
Unheard of, yeah. Miles upon miles and miles. Every city employee was busy. Nothing was contracted out. To my knowledge, it wasn't. Yeah. Everything was done. It was taken care of, and it was done quick.
You know, that's what I'm glad you brought that up, because when you see something like this and you see it now, is you said every city employee was working, nobody was busy. I mean, with this bi-national park, they're going to contract it out. We have enough city employees that can
create more jobs.
They can clear all that stuff out there and move it the way it is and continue moving faster. But no, they're going to give it out because all it is a perfect grift. And like they say, the Wuhan flu brought out the grifters, and this is what we're seeing now. A bunch of grifters everywhere.
I mean, we do have a beautiful river.
Sure.
We have a beautiful river. Sure, start off with small trails that people could at least walk in it. And like you said, start incorporating little by little, little by little. Within time, you know. Just don't slam it on there. And then what? Big waste of money and really hard at once.
I mean, you want to bankrupt Laredo? It's a perfect way to do it.
Yep.
It's a perfect way to do it. You know, there's people right now, Eric, that, you know, I talk to a lot of people, both small businesses and so on and so forth, that are saying, if so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so get elected, I'm not opening up my second restaurant. I'm going to open it up in San Antonio, and I'm going to close this when the lease comes in, and I'm moving to San Antonio. You know what? If so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so become public elected officials, I'm moving. People are afraid, but they're afraid to say it because here in Laredo we still have, you know, they'll send you the building inspectors, they'll send you the police to harass you. They still have that Partido Viejo syndrome, you know, and unfortunately it's still there. And you saw it more so during the COVID year this way. Why? Because they were out there. The bullies came out, the inspectors came out, the police came out, they harassed small businesses and so on and so forth. Yeah. So you know, and it's sad, but it happened. And people don't trust the government. They don't trust the people, some of the people that are running, because they're saying it. This person, and this person. If they run, if they get elected, we're moving out.
I hear you. Well, yeah, I hear you. That's what a lot of people do say that with other
candidates
in the government. You know, federal cities, yeah, mostly federal.
And you know, so it's like that. What would you say? What needs to change here, especially with small businesses? Because you're an entrepreneur. You've had small businesses. You have a great restaurant right now.
Yeah, I'd say what would have to be done is just lighten up the restriction on them so they could get started up and start producing. You know, they'll produce jobs for one. They'll be collecting sales tax. They don't go on their way. They just got to reduce it. I mean, they have to ease back a little bit. Some of these inspectors just come up with their own rules, you know, as they go along. And they think, you know, they may know, but I don't know if they do or don't. But if they're still just adding more resistance and making it harder for somebody that just wants to open up a small business. And small businesses are, man, they're the backbone of any community.
Absolutely. And they did a good number, this administration, with the small businesses. They practically destroyed them. Have you been to the mall? It's closed, bro.
I know, I haven't seen it.
No, it's like if you go from where Sears was,
yeah,
to let's go to Macy's, I would say 60% of those storefronts are closed. It's sad. It's a sad sight. You know, I went in there and I was just like, you know what I'm saying?
It's all based on the economy, the local economy. Yeah.
You know, and people, you know, recessions come and go. We have one about every 10 years. We're in one right now, but but what doesn't go and what really destroys is the ABCs, man. That ABC is what gets you in Laredo's filled with it. We need to change that.
Of course.
And let's say, God willing, you get elected, okay? What will be the first thing you'd like to fix, and what would be the first thing you'd like to see change?
Well, the first thing I'd like to do right off the bat is invite all my constituents to City Hall and voice their opinion. And let's hear from them, you know. I wouldn't say only my district, I'd say the whole city. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, there's other districts here, that, you know, here in Laredo, Texas, that have concerns. I mean, a lot of concerns, you know. Nothing's going to be fixed overnight, but it has to be addressed and worked on. You got to start somewhere at a certain point, you know, to get anywhere. Like I said, it's not going to be an overnight change, but you got to start somewhere. It has to be started. Something has to be done instead of ignoring the fact, you know.
Absolutely, and it needs change. It needs change. If somebody wants to say, you know what, I want to help you, Eric, how can they get in touch with you?
They get in touch with me. They can get, you know, I have my number. They can check us out on Facebook. It's Eric Wickstrom for District 3. They'll find it on Facebook. They can get a hold of me there.
Absolutely. Where's going to be your headquarters? In the restaurant?
No, we don't have one yet. We're looking at one. I'd like to get away from the restaurant just so people don't even think, you know. I hope you edit this out, but I don't want to say, hey, my headquarters will be here. They're going to say, you know what, he's just doing it to
boost the restaurant.
Yeah, for boost sales and so forth. No, I'd rather keep away from that.
Absolutely. Good man. Good man. Well, we wish you the best of luck.
All right, Paul.
And,
pleasure.
you know, folks, you guys stay safe, be safe, and remember, study and research each of the candidate. Understand the issues that are going on there. There's plenty of them in here. Don't let them pull the wool over your eye, because, you know, yeah, the smoke is gone and the mirror's cracked, so you can't smoke screen anybody anymore. So until next time, much peace.